Just 1 year ago, the Central High School football team had never won a state championship, even with greats like Reggie Cobb and Todd Helton playing for the Bobcats. But things changed just 12 months ago when Coach Bryson Rosser led his team to a state championship victory right here in Cookeville. There are a lot of similarities between Vols head coach Jeremy Pruitt and South Carolina's Will Muschamp. They grew up only about 50 miles apart, Pruitt in Rainsville, Alabama, and Muschamp in Rome, Georgia. Both played defensive back in the SEC, Pruitt at Alabama and Muschamp at Georgia. Both won national championships as defensive coordinators under Nick Saban, Pruitt at Alabama and Muschamp at LSU. They both got their first head coaching jobs at traditional SEC powers, Muschamp at Florida and of course Jeremy Pruitt at Tennessee. Muschamp got the better of the first meeting between the two. South Carolina beat Tennessee 27-24 last year in Columbia. They'll meet again Saturday at 4 o'clock at Neyland Stadium. Freshman safety Jalen McCullough introduced himself to Vol Nation on Saturday with his first career sack coming against Alabama. Everybody calls him Tank. Here's how he got the nickname.
I got the nickname Tank when I was 2 or 3. My father gave it to me. I was always bigger than everybody. I just used to run around the house and knock stuff over like a tank, so it just stuck with me.
The Vols will have to win 4 of their last 5 games if they want to make a bowl this year. Maybe Tank can help them do it. October is National Bully Prevention Awareness Month, and sometimes even the toughest players in life are the ones who get targeted. Reporter Katie Inman tells us how they turn the negative experiences into a fuel for their fire. Well, there's one team on campus whose season just never ends. In fact, they just keep cheering. Rise co-host Marissa Burke takes a break from the trend and takes a look at sports. Right here, LeBron James, too much muscle inside. Poor Reggie Bullock didn't have much of a shot right there. Later on in the second period, guess what? Chris Stewart right here gets the putback. Could you give him his own assist right there, Vic? That's my question. Excellent play. For Cosby High School's star running back Eduardo Gonzalez, playing 2 sports has been a breeze thanks to a special bond he's developed with his head coach.
You know, I've coached Eduardo for 4 years now in both football and soccer, so you know, I've known him pretty well for the last 4 years. You know, Eduardo's a very hard worker on the field, in school, in the weight room. You know, great kid who just plays his guts out every night. So, you know, the performance doesn't surprise me a bit.
Gonzalez rushed for 229 yards and 3 touchdowns last week against Jellicoe.
It really just depends on how good the line blocks or how well their defense is. In the end, it just depends on whether you get that good haul or not.
It's not all about football, though. Eduardo thrives playing the other kind of football, soccer.
In my opinion, my best sport is actually soccer. Football just came along the way. I started playing my 8th grade year, and then it got more serious into my high school year to where I started kicking and punting. And then eventually I started running the ball more towards my junior year.
Your 2 best sports under one head coach definitely has its advantages.
I feel like it's really good because you get more contact with them, and it just makes it way easier to work things out between both sports, whether it's conditioning or practicing, or the 2 sports overlap like during the spring or the fall. You get to know the coach better and he gets to know you better also.
Hard to find a harder working kid, very coachable kid, does everything we ask him to do. You know, just comes out and gives us everything.
For Eduardo Gonzalez, the goal is to stay focused on the task at hand.
This is our last week, and if we win this one, we'll go into the playoffs.
The transfer from Ole Miss, but he's from right here in Murfreesboro, Itavius Mathers.
Mathers is a guy who significantly on homecoming is returning to Murfreesboro. He has been a guy who's really sparked this MTSU offense early on in the season. Look for him to be a playmaker today.
He's gotten open threes in different ways, Jake. One of the ways that I've really liked is early in the ballgame, especially in that first quarter, they were doing a lot of screening with their post players to get their guards open. And then in the second quarter, you saw Reuter get going from beyond the arc as you take the post player, move them out, as a lot of times they were using Ty Petty as a distraction, and that's just not her game. It allows the defense to come in, collapse on her, and help over. Instead, I think they need to continue to do what they did have some success with, Rogers particularly, driving to the basket, having the defenders help off onto her and other guards, and that will give Hegedusha and other post players open opportunities from inside the three-point line. I think that's where, if they're going to hurt Middle Tennessee, they can do it.